Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. It's Dush from SBP Creative Media. Now, a big challenge that I see a lot of people run into when it comes to content and video marketing is the lack of having a really good strategy that actually brings success to them through all their video and content marketing efforts. So what I thought I'd do is quickly break down some of the areas that you should be looking at when it comes to creating good strategies. All strategies should start off with good goals, and some of the areas that you should be looking at are your long-term goals, your short-term goals, and ultimately your content focused goals. When it comes to long-term goals, what you're looking at is creating a good brand awareness and having a good presence in amongst your audience for your brand. Another thing you want to be doing is having a very good position over your competitors, and ultimately you want to keep your brand and yourself front of mind in the audience's head when it comes to long-term goals. When it comes to short-term goals, what you're looking at is getting people to click through on different bits of content you've got. You want them to download and sign up and engage with your content on some sort of level. If they're giving up some of their contact details to download certain bits of content, that's very good news for your sales team. But what you want them to be doing is really engaging with your content and ultimately be generating leads for your business. Finally, the content specific goals should be focusing in on how you should grab people's attention. So a big challenge that you have with YouTube and Facebook and everything along the lines of that is that people are only tuning in for like maybe 2 to 5 seconds. So you really need to be looking at what you could be doing to grab people's attention as best as you can. You also want to be retaining them for as long as you can so that you can drive the action you want. And what happens is you'll notice that all content should have content specific goals and content specific strategies, and that will basically flow into the short-term goals that will drive to get you leads and clicks and everything like that, and all of this will help you with your long-term goals. Another area that I thought we should be looking at is the content marketing funnel and what you should be doing with creating pieces of content that actually works to generate leads and actually drive action. A big thing that you should be remembering in this is that your customer personas and your customer journeys will play a huge part in making sure that your content's at the right place and also making sure that it's in front of the right people. But what you should ultimately be looking at is how different pieces of content work to generate your long-term goals or to get you results in your long-term goals, your short-term goals, and to be making sure that each bit of content at each stage is actually grabbing people's attention, retaining them, and getting them to drive some sort of action. With the conversion stage of content, you're looking to create content that people do want to give up some of their contact details so that they can receive the content. And this is things like ebooks, sometimes it's webinars, but it's usually things along the lines of that nature that really are very valuable to your audience. It's a very big problem that they want to solve, and they'll be more than happy to basically give up some of their contact details to download that content. Another thing that you should be looking at is what your small and medium content should be doing and how it's promoting the bigger piece of content. So small to medium pieces of content could be things like infographics, it could be things like videos on YouTube, and a medium piece of content could ultimately be a half an hour long piece of a video. It could also be a 5-minute video, but whatever it is, it should be content that's driving people to do the next stage of your content marketing funnel. Another thing that you should be looking at is mini pieces of content. So things that you could be doing on your LinkedIn, things that you could be doing on Twitter, and things along the lines of that nature to drive people to click through to the next bit of content. And then when they get to that, they'll be clicking onto the next bit and so on. A lot of this should also be in line with your customer journey. So be sure to make sure that your customer journey and your bits of content that you're choosing to put in certain places are in line with each other, because that's a huge part of being able to see success through all these efforts. Another area that I thought we should look at is your distribution efforts and what you should be considering when it comes to distribution of your content. So you should look at the channels that people are hanging out in. There's a ton of different places that your audience could be at. They could already be on your newsletter and your email database, but they could also be in places like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all places that are social media. Blogs could be another area, your website itself could be another area. And also there's thought leaders that are maybe related to your product and industry, also organizations that might be focusing in on your industry and niche that could be helping you get your content out. So you could look at them as channels as well. Another area of distribution is looking at paid and organic methods of getting your content out. So paid is looking at how you spend ad dollars to basically get your audience in front of different people. You could be leveraging YouTube, Facebook, all these places have ad platforms, and you could be putting some dollars behind targeting different audiences and really getting your content in front of people that you think would be best fit for it. Another thing that you could be doing is leveraging just organic channels that you have and getting organic traffic to your content. This could be things like just SEO and improving your Google rankings through videos and content on your website. But you could also be looking at your existing social media channels, your YouTube, Facebook, your blog if it's already got an audience, and you could be leveraging a lot of that to get your message in front of the right people. A huge part of distribution is analyzing your content and seeing how well it's performing in amongst your audience. So a big part of this is really understanding how long people are tuning into your content for, but also understanding if they're liking it or not, where they're tuning in from. And what you could be doing is, once you've understood that, you could be adjusting future content to make sure that it is a good fit to what your analytics are telling you. A huge part of all of this is making sure that you're creating value at every stage, whether it's long-term, short-term, or content-specific goals, what part of the channel, what part of the content funnel they're at. Regardless of where they're at, you really need to be creating really good value for them. And the way you could do this is by doing a ton of research and understanding how your audience engages with content, and also understanding what questions and concerns they have. So some of the things that you could look at are keywords research. So you could be using the Google's keyword planning tool to understand what type of things people are searching. You could also be looking at YouTube and what type of things people are typing into YouTube. You could be understanding what your competitors are doing. So in a lot of cases, you could look to understand what type of content they're creating and then look to outperform them by creating more valuable content. Also, you could be looking at the different opportunities that they might not have covered that you could be covering. And ultimately, you want to make sure that you're really understanding what questions or concerns your audience has or your customers have, and really be answering those through your content. A big thing that you could be doing is just looking at your emails and your sales relationships that you've got with customers, and look at the questions that they're asking, because a lot of these questions are content pieces that you could be creating to achieve a lot of these goals and to be creating good content funnels for your business. So hopefully this is making sense to you guys. If you're struggling with video marketing and content marketing and you're looking to leverage some of this for your business, definitely stay tuned to a lot of this content that I've got. I'm also hosting video marketing strategy sessions. The team and I love doing this, so we've decided to do a couple of free sessions. I'll put the link in the description so you can sign up to that. But thank you for the people that have already signed up to that as well, by the way. So I hope this is all making sense to you guys. I hope that this is actually valuable to you. And until next time, guys, take care, and I'll see you next time.